Okay, let's look at some more ways that plugins can help us work faster and smarter. In this case, here's one that makes it easy to adjust some basic brush settings right in the viewport. Let's see how it works. Now, let's say you want to change your draw size. You perhaps might be sculpting here on the model, and then you realize that you need this brush to be bigger or smaller, so you can come up to the menu here and make it bigger, make it smaller. All this going back and forth, it can take a little bit of time. It can slow down your process. So there is actually, other than the plugin, there's another way to access the draw size very quickly, and that's holding down the space bar, and it comes up automatically right on the draw size. So no matter where you are on the screen, you're right there to adjust the draw size. And that's great. However, if you happen to be lower on the screen, this box doesn't want to draw very low on the screen. So actually it won't pop up right where you are. And so this is kind of an issue. Every once in a while, I think I'm going to be on draw size, but actually it's on something else. And then I have to move my cursor up. So it actually becomes kind of an issue because I keep accidentally hitting things that I didn't want to hit. So instead of doing that, let's use the Adjust plugin here under Plugins. This is one that is installed by default now in ZBrush. And what I want to do is set a hotkey for Adjust Draw Size, Adj Draws, as it's spelled out here. And so it's easy enough to set a hotkey for this. I'm just going to hold down Control and Alt and click on this. And you can set it to anything you want. Oops, I accidentally moved the cursor off of that, so it canceled it. Control, Alt, and click. And now I'm going to set my hotkey to Q. You can set it to anything you want, but Q is not used by default in ZBrush by anything else. So it's easy enough for this. Okay, so it's been assigned. Now if I hold down Q and I just move my cursor left and right, I can set my draw size very quickly, very easily. It doesn't matter where I am, it's going to work exactly the same. Now there's a couple other settings here under the Adjust plugin. You can adjust the focal shift. So let's go ahead and set this to number 2 on the keyboard. And let's see, adjust RGB intensity. I'm going to set a hotkey for 3. And adjust Z intensity. I'm going to set a hotkey for 4. Okay, so let's see here. If holding down 2, it changes the focal shift. So you see that secondary circle inside the main circle. So that's affecting how sharp or soft the brush is. So right now it has a very sharp fall off. And if I move it over here to the right, it's going to have a soft fall off. Okay, now holding down 3, we can change the RGB intensity. So we actually aren't using it right now because I don't have RGB turned on, but you can see holding down 3, now we get to change that setting very easily. And holding down 4, we can change the Z intensity very quickly. Okay, pretty simple, but if you're like me, you change your brush size all the time. So it's nice to be able to adjust that setting without having to go up into the menus all the time.